Hi again, this is Margaret from the New Britain Museum of American Art. And once again, we are in Studio B, okay, which is downstairs if you've ever been to the museum before. And we're going to be making a piece of artwork, which is Earth and Sky. And I want to show you what I've done. We're going to be using shaving cream. And this is just a sample of what I've done. I have the earth on the bottom, I have the sky on the top, and the clouds are made out of shaving cream and paint. And it's a lot of fun. So let's get started. So first, what we're gonna do, I have a tin foil tray. If you don't have that, that's okay. You can line a plate with foil, or you could just use foil, and that's fine too. All right, but I'm gonna shake up my shaving cream, and this is a lot of fun. I'm gonna put shaving cream all in the bottom. You don't have to put a ton, okay? Now I have a fork, it's a plastic fork. You can use your hands, whatever you want. And I'm just gonna smooth out my shaving cream. And you can just smooth it out to about 1 inch of shaving cream. Don't worry, just however you can do it is fine. No worries, this is just fun. And it is fun just using your fingers. And I'm just rubbing it all around. Doesn't have to be big because you're working with smaller pieces of paper. So I'm just smoothing this, and I'm using my finger to, it's almost like frosting. That's what it makes me think of, like I'm frosting a cake. And I'm smoothing it. See, I could do this all day. So I'm taking it off. So I'm about done here. Now, I have a stack of paper towels, which I suggest you have. I'm gonna wipe my fork off, okay? And my hands. Next, I have paint. Now we're gonna do the clouds first so they can dry a little bit. So, what you do is, I'm gonna put some paint very lightly on the top. I'm gonna mix some paint. So, I have blue, red, green, and I had a little yellow left over, so I'm using that. You can use whatever colors you want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip my fork into the paint, and I'm gonna drizzle it right over my shaving cream. Just drizzle it however you want. And then I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm gonna wipe off my fork. Because I'm gonna use it again. I only have like 3 forks, so I wanna keep wiping them off. Now I'm gonna go into my green. Same thing, I'm just gonna drizzle, drizzle, drizzle all over. And next, I'm gonna take another paper towel. You'll go through a lot of paper towels with this project. And I'm gonna wipe that off. And I'm gonna drizzle my red. I'm not gonna use any yellow in my clouds. I'm gonna use that when we do the bottom of your picture. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna do a little bit of red. So now, what you wanna do, I'm gonna wipe my fork off again. Whoops, stuck my hand in a whole thing of green paint. That's okay. I forgot to mention, you should have a big piece of paper down where you're working, because this is gonna be really messy. Okay, so then I can take my fork or a stick, whatever you have, and just very lightly run your fork or stick over your picture. Just kind of swirl it. Don't dig deep into the shaving cream, just lightly. So now that almost looks like a cake too, right there. Okay, oh, I have a little dot here and I want to smooth over. All right, so once again, I'm going to wipe my fork off. Now I'm going to take my piece of paper. This should be a heavier piece of paper, okay? Otherwise it will roll when it starts to dry. I'm just going to very lightly place it down. Tap, 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 very lightly. Don't smush it down in there. Tap, 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 tap. Then I'm going to pull a corner off. And you have all that with the shaving cream. Now, I have a piece of really heavy cardboard. This is from a box. It's just a piece from a box. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, and I have to stand up for this. I'm going to lie it down, and I'm going to squeegee. I'm just going to pull all the excess shaving cream off. And then maybe I'll go the other way too. And I'm going to wipe off my squeegee. And you have a beautiful picture. And I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to do one more. If you want, you can kind of scrape off. Let's see, what should I use? I'll use another fork. You can kind of scrape off the top layer and put it down on your extra piece of paper or foil. So you don't have a lot of the same color because we want a different design. And actually it looks pretty neat when you scrape it off too. I'm just going to scrape that much off. If you need to add a little more shaving cream, go right ahead. And then you can add whatever other colors you want. I'm going to add, you know what, I like this blue, so I'm just going to add some more blue. And now I'm going to put my next piece down. Whoops, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to run my fork through it. So and I have that again. So now I'm going to take my squeegee again. And this way I'm going to go this side. And I'm going to squeegee off, pull off my extra shaving cream. Oh, so here it is. And it looks different from the other one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this aside for now. And I suggest that you use a heavier piece of paper for your background. If you don't, it's no problem. See, on mine, I didn't too, but it's no problem. It just curls a little bit when it dries, but you can flatten that out later. So, what you're gonna do, you're gonna fold your piece of paper in half, like a hot dog, just like this. And you're gonna open it up. You're going to get the fold line. Now this fold line is called the horizon line. And the horizon line is going to be where the sky meets the land. All right? So, now you get to paint. You can paint. Actually, no, I was going to have you paint your bottom first. If you want your sky, if you're working with white paper and you want your sky blue, the top part, I want my sky blue, so I'm just gonna up to the horizon line I'm just going to color this in really fast with crayon. Really fast. Because I'm going to have my clouds over this in the sky. Okay, so now there's my sky. On the bottom of the horizon line, below the horizon line I should say, I'm going to paint. Now I have Q-tips here. If you don't have Q-tips, no problem. You can paint with your fork, you can paint with your fingers, whatever you want. I think I'm going to do a little of both. So I'm going to, let's see, I think I used all my, I got to wipe this off. And I'm going to paint first with my fork. I'm going to make some grass on the bottom. I just dip my fork in the paint. I'm making grass all around. And there's my grass. And I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to use my finger. Dip my finger in the paint. And I'm just going to color in the bottom here. There's my bottom so far. And let's see, for the top part, you know what? I'm going to use red. And maybe I'll use my Q-tip. Red is just going to be, I don't know. I'm just going to make some other kind of flowery things. Maybe I have a mountain in the background, a couple mountains in the background. Be anything you want. You don't even have to paint the bottom if you don't want to. If you want to use crayons or markers, you could do that too. But I'm going to paint. So here's my bottom. That's my land, okay? You know what? I have one more thing I want to do. I want some water. I want a little stream running through. So I'm going to use my finger in the blue paint. And there's my little stream running through. So now, once you're done with that, wipe your hands off. These should be dry. And what you're gonna do on the back, you can draw a cloud shape. And then you'll cut it out. Let's see, I'll make a smaller one. You don't have to, if you don't want to draw it on the back, you could just cut. But see, I'm cutting. I drew it on the back first and I'm cutting. If it's still a little wet, that's okay. No big deal. You could keep printing out of your shaving cream. If you have more paper and you don't want to stop, you could just use it all. Here's my cloud. And I have glue sticks. So if you have regular glue, that's fine. Actually, it'll probably work better, especially if this is heavier paper. Regular glue might work better, but I have a glue stick. It'll work okay. Here's one of my clouds here. And let's see, I drew this other cloud. And there's my clouds. Now, one last thing I want to do. I don't know, maybe I want a bird in the sky. Let's see, maybe I'll make a green bird. Sticking my finger in and here's one. There's another one. There's some birds. Just like that. However you would like to do it. So I think so now, if you have leftovers, you can use this in another picture too. Well, thank you for coming, for joining us. I had a great time. I could do this all day. Hope you have a wonderful day and hope to see you again. Bye-bye.